When you wake up in the morning, before you check your phone or rush into your day, pause for a moment and whisper to yourself, I am blessed. These 3 words carry more power than we realize. They shift your mind from what you lack to what you already have. Each new sunrise is a quiet reminder that God has given you another chance to breathe, to love, to grow, and to begin again. No matter how heavy yesterday was, today is a gift, a clean page waiting for you to write a new story of faith and gratitude. To say, I am blessed, is not to deny your struggles or your pain, but to see beyond them. It's a declaration that even in the midst of trials, God's goodness still surrounds you. You may not have everything you desire, but you have everything you need to take the next step. Every heartbeat, every ray of sunlight, every smile from someone who cares. These are blessings. The small things often go unnoticed, yet they hold the greatest meaning. Gratitude transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary, because when you choose to see life through the lens of thankfulness, you begin to notice how much grace truly fills your days. When you wake and declare, I am blessed, you invite peace into your spirit. You remind yourself that your worth does not depend on your possessions, achievements, or the approval of others. It rests in the truth that you are a beloved child of God, created with purpose and cared for with unending love. No matter where you are, no matter what season you are in, this affirmation opens your heart to joy. And when you walk with gratitude, even ordinary mornings become holy moments of light and hope. When you look into the mirror each morning and tell yourself, I am strong, you're not claiming that life is easy or that you have everything figured out. You're reminding your soul that strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to rise again after falling, to keep believing when the world gives you reasons to doubt. True strength comes from the quiet assurance that God is with you, even in the moments when you feel weakest. It is not about pretending to be unbreakable. It's about trusting that His grace holds you together when everything else seems to fall apart. Every challenge you've faced, every tear you've shed, every time you've chosen to stand back up. These are marks of strength. The world may see only the scars, but God sees the courage it took to keep moving forward. When you say, I am strong, you are declaring victory over fear, over doubt, and over every voice that tells you that you can't. The gospel reminds us that faith gives power to the weary and lifts those who are burdened. You do not have to face life by your own strength. Divine strength flows through you the moment you surrender your weakness to Him. So even when the day feels long and the road feels uncertain, hold this truth in your heart. Your strength is not measured by how much you can carry, but by how deeply you can trust. Every obstacle is an opportunity for growth, every setback a lesson in endurance. Say, I am strong, with conviction, not because you have no fear, but because you know that with faith you can rise above it. And when you walk in that belief, nothing can truly defeat you. When you wake up and say to yourself, I am loved, you are affirming one of the greatest truths of life. That love is not something you earn, but something you already have. God's love is unconditional. It is not based on your achievements, your status, or your perfection. It is a love that remains even when you stumble, even when you doubt, even when you feel unworthy. Every breath you take is a reflection of that divine love flowing through you, reminding you that no matter what yesterday held, today you are still chosen, still cared for, still loved beyond measure. To say, I am loved, is to silence the lies that whisper you are not enough. It is to reject the loneliness that tries to settle in your heart, and to remember that you are never truly alone. God's love surrounds you like the morning light, constant, gentle, and healing. When you allow that love to fill your heart, it changes how you see yourself and how you treat others. You begin to forgive more easily, to speak more kindly, to live with more compassion. Love has the power to heal the deepest wounds, to calm the most restless spirit, and to bring peace where there once was pain, even in moments when people fail to understand you. When the world seems indifferent or cold, hold on to this truth: divine love does not leave. It never fades and never runs out. You were created in love and for love, and that makes your life infinitely valuable. So, when you speak these words each morning, I am loved, let them sink deep into your soul. Let them remind you that you belong, that you matter, and that you are held in the eternal embrace of a love that never lets go. When you tell yourself each morning, I am guided, you are choosing to trust that there is a divine hand directing your path, even when you cannot see where it leads. Life is full of uncertainty, moments when doors close unexpectedly, when plans fall apart, and when the road ahead feels clouded with doubt. Yet in those moments, faith whispers that nothing is random. Every step, every delay, every detour is part of a greater design crafted by a loving God who sees what you cannot. To be guided means to surrender control, to stop fighting the unknown, and to believe that there is purpose even in confusion. When you wake and declare, I am guided, you remind your soul that you are never walking alone. The same God who created the stars also lights your way, one step at a time. Sometimes his guidance comes through peace in your heart, sometimes through a closed door that redirects you toward something better. It is not always clear in the moment, but later you realize that even the hardest seasons were preparing you for something greater. When you learn to trust this unseen guidance, your fears lose power and your heart finds rest. Every prayer you whisper, every tear you shed, is heard by the one who leads you with love. He knows the desires of your heart and the path that will truly fulfill them. You may not always understand his timing, but his plan is never late. Saying, I am guided, turns worry into peace and confusion into faith. It reminds you that your life is not drifting aimlessly, but unfolding perfectly under divine direction. With each new day, you can walk forward with confidence, knowing that God's light will always lead you where you are meant to be. When you begin your day by saying, today is my day, you claim ownership of the present moment. It is a declaration that you refuse to live in the shadows of yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. Each new morning is a sacred opportunity, a chance to begin again, to choose faith over fear, and to make today count. Life isn't about waiting for perfect moments. It's about finding purpose in the moments you have. When you say these words, you awaken your spirit to the truth that this day, right here, right now, is filled with possibility and promise. So many people live their lives waiting for the right time to change, to forgive, to love, or to start something new. But today is my day reminds you that the right time is now. God has placed you in this very moment for a reason. The blessings you seek often come when you stop hesitating and start believing. Each sunrise is not just the start of another day, but a personal invitation from God to rise with hope, to act with courage, and to walk in purpose. When you declare, today is my day, you take responsibility for your thoughts, your choices, and your attitude. You begin to see that even small steps taken with faith can create meaningful change. You stop letting fear decide your future and instead move forward with confidence that grace is already making a way for you. This simple affirmation turns ordinary mornings into divine beginnings. It fills your heart with gratitude and your mind with determination. No matter what challenges come, you can face them with peace, knowing that God has given you this day, your day, to live fully, love deeply, and shine brightly. When you speak to yourself each morning, I am enough, you remind your heart that you don't have to chase worth in the eyes of others. You don't have to prove yourself to be loved, accepted, or valued. You are already enough, just as you are. Not because you have done everything right, but because God created you with purpose and intention. Too often, the world tries to convince you that you are lacking, that you must look a certain way, achieve more, or be someone else to be worthy. But the truth is, you were never meant to earn your value, you were meant to embrace it. Saying, "I am enough," silences the inner critic that whispers you are not doing enough, or that you are falling behind. It allows you to rest in the assurance that you are a work in progress, beautifully shaped by divine hands. You may have flaws, you may make mistakes, but those do not define you. They refine you. When you start your day with this affirmation, you build a foundation of confidence rooted not in pride, but in peace. You stop comparing yourself to others and begin to walk in your own light, grateful for who you are becoming. Every morning, remind yourself that you are enough because God is enough within you. His strength completes your weakness, His love fills your emptiness, and His grace covers every imperfection. You are enough for the challenges ahead, enough to make a difference, enough to fulfill your purpose. When you truly believe that, you begin to live with quiet confidence and gentle strength. You no longer rush to meet the world's expectations. You simply rise, knowing that being yourself, guided by faith, is more than enough.